and I'm back with another episode of Tuesday Talks presented by Abir Pothi. Today we have Vyom with us. Vyom is a sculptor based in Ahmedabad. Hi Vyom, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having me over, and I'm good. It's a very pleasant afternoon.
Can you give us a brief of what your practice revolves around, like just a little brief about it?
I primarily make sculptures. I have a studio practice in Ahmedabad. I have been working. I've had the studio practice for about 15 years. I primarily work in metal and other ephemeral materials, which is contrasting practice, where which is like this very tangible, seemingly hard material, and the other which is very fluid and ephemeral.
15 years ago when you started this journey, was there a certain moment which influenced you to pursue to become a sculptor or an artist, or what was that particular thing that drew you to becoming a visual artist?
So I mean, I studied sculpture, so
Hmm.
it was that. But I studied in Baroda, and those 4 years were enough to give me an indication of the space I want to be in and what I'd like to continue doing. Actually, what helped push me back or give some clarity as to this definiteness of it all was not making work or stepping away from doing sculpture for a bit. So I graduated, went and did odd jobs for about 2 years, and that made me realize that sculpture was it for me.
You had that moment of going back to what
Well,
got.
see, but that happens, right? And even when you're traveling, you step away from any space which is comfortable, convenient, familiar. You step back, and then it suddenly starts. You start seeing it or thinking of it in a different light. So it's always helpful. Even with work, you make something, you step back and revisit it. It suddenly starts showing shades which you missed completely earlier. So yeah, that helped me. I'm glad I did that. Uh, and ever since then, it's been it's the only constant in my life for the last 15 years.
Ah, great. So, how's your studio practice going? What are you creating nowadays at the studio? Are there any thoughts that is consuming lately to create or something like
Right
that?
now, I'm just frustrated and irritated. I'm trying to build my studio and workshop, and it's become a much larger project than what I'd imagined. It it suddenly feels there's this never ending sense to it, and yeah, I'm just extremely irritated by it all, and more so with myself because I don't know why I jumped into it and started making this monster, like metal consuming monster of a workshop. So that is what it is. I was hoping that before the monsoon starts, it would be all ready and I'd be able to get back to work. Uh, Sadly, that's not happened. So the thing is going to continue for the next 2 3 months. I have I've committed to exhibitions September onwards, and I've not even started work. So I don't know what is going to happen, how is going to happen. Uh, and there are some. I mean, there are ideas, but from at least the way I have worked so far is that I have an abstract, and then once I start making is when it becomes clearer and clearer in the process. So I have everything to begin, but I have no clue where that's going to take me, and I won't till I start making, and I've not been able to for a while now. So that's also adding to this irritation and frustration. So it's yeah, I I'm so yeah, but I'm sleeping a lot. I mean, I don't know what to do, so I eat and I sleep. Yeah, that's what my current existence is.
You mentioned that you work with different mediums. Um, how do you connect with different mediums? Is there any medium that's your, like you said, that comfort medium? Is what's that comfort medium, and what's something that's very difficult for you to deal with?
So all the large work that I do is all in metal, just because it allows for working in scale. A lot of the work is also meant to be kept outside. So again, Metal is a medium that survives our at extreme weather. Uh,
Mm.
Otherwise, the sun just burns through everything. So yeah, so that's been a constant for the last for many years now. And other than that, there's always depending upon so that at least for me the way it works is depending upon an idea, I choose a material, and sometimes I begin with a material and then things build up. So
Mm.
currently, I'm working with machine oil. So began with that. So it began with the material, and then uh, actually finding ways how to use it, how to somehow engage with it, find creating circumstances, creating environments, creating possibilities with a source, and the source being uh, used machine oil for this for the body of work I'm working on right now. So it works both
Mm.
ways, and I think from there the process is in some way similar. Is that becomes the source, that becomes the starting point, and then while while doing things, it
Mm.
all evolves.
And
Yeah.
um, what inspires you in your work wise? Like whatever you make, what's your basic source of inspiration?
There is constantly you open your eyes and we flooded with information, right? We're bombarded with data,
Mm.
and so you can't escape that today. So we live in messed up times, like severely messed up times. You wake up and there's always there is I mean between Trump and his cohort, there is something on the other that is constantly being thrown at us, right? So that it
Yeah.
is. So we're living in this strange mix. Uh so where does there are two things. One which is responding to what is happening in the world and what I think of it. And the other is to somehow just get away from all this noise. Right. So I think
Yeah.
it works both ways. So you create because that's all that you can do, or that's all that I can do.
Mm.
And in a sense, my own way of dealing with my reality. And another body of work most definitely is a response to what I am feeling right now. And that is it
Mm.
could be something which is very local, very personal, very immediate, but it is a response. So for
Yeah.
me, I think it is these two things. Uh, and you constantly, I mean, you watch things, you read things, travel, listen to something, see someone's work. So that all of that is somehow feeding into the source. And I think that
Mm.
is what it is. It's almost like uh, this container where we keep putting things in, right? It becomes the source. And when it is not necessarily definite. It is a
Yeah.
mix. And when you somehow
Yeah.
look into it, somehow unravel it, it might not make sense at all.
Mm.
But it is
Mm.
like bits and pieces that we collect uh,
Mm.
and we somehow store. And we don't, I think a lot of times we also ourselves don't know how that plays out. But it all somehow
Mm.
adds to to the source. And I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
They constantly keep keep filling this container. So I think what I also is it's you fill it enough where then there is a sudden need for it to become something. Right. So it's almost maybe
Mm.
like a pressure cooker where you fill it with something and then it needs to
Then it.
somehow a release. No, not even an escape,
Yeah.
it needs a release. And then you have that release and then you go back to filling it up again. And I think
Yeah.
that's a continuous process. And I hope that never ends. For
Mm.
I mean, till one can just continue doing this.
What a beautiful metaphor you chose to, explain this like a pressure cooker, and it makes so much sense. And yeah, I think whatever you said, like even today when we wake up and we are constantly bombarded with just new data and information all the time. And when you make your art, how do you want people to perceive your art?
So first to be, I would be very happy if people see it. You know, we have like it is we are very excited if 50 people come for an opening, which is horrible. So to begin with, it'd be great if people see it. Uh, and then I don't necessarily I like the idea of, I mean, ambiguity. I don't know why it is a term which is so disliked when we talk about work. I like ambiguity. I like the idea of, I like the possibilities that it provides. And for me,
Mm.
ambiguity does not necessarily mean not non-clarity.
Uh,
That there are that it has possibilities. There's a sense of the multiplicity, and it emerges from saying that, okay, there is ambiguity in myself within. There are contradictions, and this is who I am. So there is,
mm.
I don't have clarity myself. So how is it that my work will have it? That's one part. The other, I like the idea of my work being read differently. So it somehow helps me look at my own work through different lenses and
Mm.
provides layers, which either could have been subconscious associations which I might not necessarily have thought of, which someone
Mm.
else helps me see. So I think it helps. It adds these layers which are which are great. And I most definitely don't want my work to be seen through a singular lens, through a
Mhm.
single perspective. Uh, and so what also happens is that when it I enjoy the process of interacting with people about my own work, because it starts giving me these uh, different ways of looking at my own work.
Mhm. How do you define your relationship with art, or your practice? Like, has the relationship changed over the years, or has it evolved over the years? And if it has, how has it evolved?
I mean, it's fantastic. I think it's one. It gives you so much luxury. It's a privilege and a luxury. You can really, short of murder, get away with most things. So I'm great that I have the opportunity to do this. Live the way I do. I call, and it's most definitely only because of what I do, or or more than what I think of myself, what other people think of me. And by
Mm.
tagging me a particular way, it suddenly allows for a lot of things, which is great. Uh, and so I would most definitely never want to let it go. That part of it. The other is I like making, so I'm just thankful I'm able to, and I hope I can continue doing it. And especially as a sculptor, it is I appreciate that I'm able to, because it is that much more difficult than most other practices, even
Mm.
within the art framework.
Yeah.
And I for forever I've always been extremely angry, irritated with my friends who paint, because it takes so little space, money. My transport at times costs more than how much it costs to put up an entire exhibition if someone's a painter. So,
Yeah.
no, so because of, I mean, these are the technical, logistical things,
Mm.
but I'm sincerely thankful and I appreciate that I'm able to do this, and I wish I can continue doing it for as long as possible.
Nice. And what does your um, creative process looks like? Like, are there any rituals you'd like to follow before, starting the work, or mid process? What does your creative process look like? Can you just take us around?
So wherever I need something to work towards,
Mm.
which I think so that is most definitely something that pushes me to create. The other is that I've also realized that they need to figure out and or find rhythms, and sometimes and the rhythms while working towards an exhibition is very different than otherwise.
Mm.
Uh, and I think also over time I started picking these up. I started realizing what is it that somehow instigates it, how to somehow
Mm.
generate it.
Yeah.
Uh, and So I start working towards, when I'm working towards an exhibition, I'll begin with doing some drawings which are very intuitive,
Mm.
uh, which help me get into a generatorism. And then
Mm.
that's only it picks up speed, like velocity, uh, or pace. And then it really becomes this uh, like overpowering, all encompassing uh, energy flow. So I get into this pre exhibition zone where
Mm.
really things start happening. And so then it's always a build up towards it. And there is a, and over the years, I'm realizing that there is a moment when you can almost sense a before and after.
Yeah.
Uh, and that I think one is this realization that this is how it happens.
Mm.
The earlier it used to, now there is an awareness, and then also an understanding of somehow how do you start generating it. I also started
Mm.
accepting that I used to get troubled by the fact that how it's not in some ways sustained. That I have these enormous ebbs and flows.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. So there are so that it will be a build up, and then after the body of work is done, then there is a crash. There is
Mm.
only an
Mm.
inability to do anything,
Yeah.
or desire, and then there is they feel that there is a sense of loss, and then you start working, building it again. So that is a constant, and I
Mhm.
used to question that earlier, and I've just gotten more comfortable with, and I'm sure everyone's has different ways processes, but for me, this is what I realize is something that I don't know if I enjoy it, but it's something that just works for me. And I don't say, I'm still questioning if I enjoy it or not, because then there are these moments within this when there is this energy surge, which at times becomes overwhelming.
Mm.
So
Certainly.
I'm not sure if I don't know if I could do it differently. I'm still that I'm still wondering if I would want to do it differently or not. But yeah, this is how it is right now. And there is another which is saying that there is a constant thinking about what to do,
Mm.
what I would like to do, why I want to do something. So that is something which is constant, I guess. That is always happening. And I love daydreaming, so that helps. I
Okay.
think I'm a master. I've mastered it. There's one thing I've mastered is that.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, what is this one piece of advice you would like to offer to the young artists who are just starting out in this industry of visual art space?
Find ways in which you can just continue making, because everything will somehow work towards not letting you make.
Mm.
So you just have to scheme how you can just continue making, and you do it long enough, it will somehow allow for it itself to continue. But yeah, just all forces possible will stop you from doing it, but initially you just have to figure out ways.
In your personal practice, whose artworks or, uh, whose practice inspires you? Is it a master or is it a peer or somebody who's not from this, art world?
I mean, there are two exhibitions I've seen recently which just completely blew my mind. Like it's
Mm.
like there's Manjunath Kamat's sculptural exhibition at Bikaner House in Delhi.
Yeah.
That that was a good show. And Nalini Malani's animation work that I saw in Bombay. Oh my, those so of recently. I mean, there's so many
Mm.
people who do incredible work, but more recently there is these two shows which just I was weak. I just like weak in my knees. I just sat there and like this is great stuff. So yeah, I mean, when I think of very recent memory, mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing work.
Yeah, great. And apart from making art and apart from being at your studio, what are you doing when you're not creating art?
So I don't think there's no on and off, right? There really isn't. So I wish I could travel more. I wish I was reading more. So again, I just wish I was seeing more, listening to more, traveling more. I have not. That's somehow strangely post COVID. I really have not, and so I just suddenly and this I didn't realize it. So I'm making a conscious effort to do that this year, to step away from my studio as much as I can. Actually, see if I can travel. See if I can find ways where And I used to do that earlier. I don't know why, what's happened. That I would literally just take a pile of books and disappear. I would like literally like go hide somewhere. And yeah, maybe I mean it could be 2 weeks, a month. Literally just read, eat, sleep, and then come back to the world. Which I wish I could do these things. I continue to do this thing, and I have not. Yeah, just get onto my motorcycle and just go away for a month. So I wish these things can find ways in which these things can happen again. I have done it before, and I somehow I'm missing them. And I do these most definitely then feed work, or they help come back. So I think this kind of distance thing is very necessary. So stepping away and then coming back for doing this always helps talking about, or you ask, I mean, yourself, you find an artist and ask them to talk about themselves, you won't find anyone happier.
Thank you so much for joining us today for the Tuesday Talks. It was such an insightful conversation with you today.
Thank you so much, and yeah, connect again soon.